Right, good evening, and welcome to Dragon Age Origins, our yearly playthrough. I want this to be a thing that we do on the channel every year, because there's some people like to go through the Lord of the Rings once a year, or the Hobbit, or whatever fantasy series they like. I know Christopher Lee used to read the Lord of the Rings once a year. Well, I want to play through the Dragon Age series once a year. And I'd like to do it with you as well. On the channel, I thought that'd be a really nice thing to do. And I had a really good idea for this year's playthrough. This year's playthrough will be the worst timeline of Dragon Age. I wanted to step away from the normal playthroughs that I do. For those of you who know me, and this is on the channel too, we normally roleplay as a guy called Royce in Dragon Age Origins. Royce is the second oldest son of House Kusland. He is a nobleman who's never really meant to rule. So he goes off with lots of women, men, whatever. He's a very good warrior. He's essentially a human version of Zevran at the start of the game. And if you know who Zevran is, you know what I'm talking about. But the game, the story, forces him to become a leader throughout the story. He gradually matures into this general person, until when we get into Dragon Age Awakening, he is a fully formed, actualized person. And Sten is actually one of the characters who helps him with that. He becomes a surrogate dad. If you don't know who Sten is, you will meet him in this playthrough. But he becomes a surrogate dad and brings him up basically as a better leader than he was before. He challenges him quite a lot, which is not something that, you know, a lot of protagonists are used to. Alistair becomes like his little brother as he's going through the story. And Morrigan and Leliana are kind of like his girlfriends, you know. And Leliana becomes more like his sister later on, so he lets her go and he stays with Morrigan. So it's like a coming-of-age story for him. It's a hero's journey story for Royce. And it's a really well-told one, which is why I think, for me, it's the canon choice for me, in terms of having a character go through Dragon Age Origins. But maybe this dwarf will supplant that story as the main story, if I really like it. You never know. Let me just double-check things are working out for us in terms of us recording. Yes, everything looks just fine. Excellent. So, apologies if you see my desktop every now and again. For some reason, OBS doesn't want to record the window of Dragon Age Origins, so I've just got to record my entire screen, which sucks, but it is what it is. When we get to Dragon Age 2, hopefully that problem will go away. But to say the least. But anyway, let's have a little go here at Dragon Age Origins as Endrin, who is our dwarf noble. Things you need to know about Endrin is he's very similar to Royce in some ways. He's the second oldest son of the king, but you see the difference between human and dwarf culture. In dwarf culture, well, Endrin is brought up to assassinate, kill, murder, stamp on, whatever he can to get to the throne. Power politics, played to the bitter end, is what Endrin's going through. And he reacts that way to most things too. Let's see how we go, shall we? Dragon Age Origins, let's play the right game. One last check that everything's fine. Yep, okay. My OCD is satisfied. Let's play the game.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, The Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Still one of the best intros in gaming history, and one that I don't think has been topped by many games, if any, to be honest with you. So, going forwards, just wanted you to know that we will be answering a few questions by our patrons and other people. The next part after part 2 of Dragon Age, so the first 2 parts will be a normal video. The next parts after that will be live streams, so we'll be having certain people giving us questions to answer, and we'll be talking about the lore as we go through. If we are on a part of the lore which isn't relevant yet in our questions, I will save that question for a later date when we get to that part. So if you ask me a question about the Deep Roads, well, when we go back to the dwarves later in the story, I'll answer it then. If we get a question about human nobility, well, when we go to Denerim, I'll answer it then. That kind of a thing. So we'll do that sort of thing. We are, of course, a dwarf. And we are the dwarfiest of dwarfs. We are a warrior, and we are a noble.
Greetings.
Greetings, indeed. So I don't want perfect skin tone. That's not something that I want right now. Because I did that last time. And whilst it looked okay, it looked... Oh, God. It looked kind of... Is the light on enough? Yeah, it is. Okay. Must be just dark in the screen. So, let me just have a little look here. Looks pretty cool. I like his facial structure. He's not going to be black, of course, because, well, that's fine. The kings of Orzammar aren't black-skinned. Let me just... So we had this complexion last time, which is a bit too clean for me. So I think we will be going in a more angry direction. And I'm even going to make him more angry. So we're actually going to be making him a, shall we say... His skills are not going to be towards speechcraft, put it that way. My last dwarf character was, my last Endrin was, and I don't want this Endrin to have that. I want him to be extremely... antagonistic, annoyed most of the time. Yeah, he's not going to be a nice guy. But in a weird way, he's what his situations made him. You know, like he's not... I don't want him to just be a meme, you know, because that's not who Endrin is. Endrin is a really awesome dwarf, you know what I mean? And but he's no meme factory, you know. He's not going to be let me hair and beard. He is blonde. He's not going to be overly nasty just for the sake of being nasty. He is the son of a king, so he is going to be quite arrogant and quite into himself, shall we say. He is blonde because the house of Endrin is blonde. There we go. And yeah, I like to make sure that my characters are very... they fit into the lore, you know. I like to make sure that that happens. I did it with Royce. I always do it with Royce. Always make sure that he fits into the lore. And that's pretty much like what I like to do. I like to make sure that they at least are a part of the world properly, rather than being, you know, oh, that's cool, I like that. Looks like his eyes are, he's like he's squinting at you. I like that one. Yeah. So if we do eye size low, that means he's... Ooh, no, it's a bit too squinty. That's okay. In terms of romance, I got asked this before. I don't know. At the end of the day, he's a dwarf, so I'm not sure how interested he is in humans, and you can only romance humans in this game. So, and I'm not sure if he's into that, to be honest with you. So I might do, but it will be one of those... I mean, I can't... It wouldn't be real... this is going to sound really horrible, but it wouldn't be realistic for Leliana, for instance. She's quite a shallow person, even though she likes to think she isn't. It would be quite unrealistic for her to just fall in love with the dwarf. I mean, you know, we know he's a handsome chap, but the world is quite racist. And he's got a broken nose too, which I quite like. I quite like that. Yeah, the world is a bit racist, so it's not like he's going to be, you know, Bella the Ball with all the women and stuff. Neck thickness, got to get that right, haven't we? Let's do his expression. No, let's go. Yeah, that'll do. And let's have him looking right at the camera. Like a psychopath. Actually, I quite like that one. We could just turn him right at the camera, but like... just looks like a psycho. But we'll have him face side on, so that's going to be in the thumbnail, you see. So we'll have him looking up or down. That'll do. And background... There we go. Move it to the left a little bit. There we go. Wonderful. So this is Endrin, named after his dad. So let me do his voice first.
I have lost the spell.
How do you do?
Greetings. Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure.
Greetings. Ugh, my spell. This isn't working. You're in my way.
That'll do. So, I think we're good. I think we are good. We have our dwarf, our Endrin. Oh, one thing I wanted to do as well was do the tattoo. Because, whilst he isn't one of the castlists, in his youth he did spend time down there with some of the gangs and things. So, let's make this intensity go away a little bit, down to there. There we are. Here he is. That is our guy. So we did get some tattoos down there. So, you know, he's been much the rebellious younger sibling. But he's also, you know, he wants to be king. Even though he's been down there before. So, in our setting, Trian is the older brother. And he is the regal one. He's the eldest. He thinks he's going to be king, right? Balin is the youngest, and he is the pampered one. He is the favourite sort of a thing, but only the favourite through his dad. The rest of the people aren't, don't really see him as that. And he's a very learned guy. Whereas the middle brother, and that is Endrin, he is the rebel. He's the middle child, second born. He hangs around with thieves and, dusters and, is extremely potent warrior, gets into scraps all the time, but he also really wants to be king. So he's not like Royce, where he had no interest in being king. No. He really wants to be king, mainly because he hates his older brother. They do not get along at all. So, but this is the kind of guy Endrin is. He wants to be king more to see the look on his brother's face than to actually be king. He just wants to cause as much grief to his brother as humanly possible, because as far as he's concerned, he's a twit and needs to go away. So let's go with we don't need any cunning. Normally I put that up to get myself some nice points, but we don't need that. We need 2 in there, 2 in there, and in fact 1 in there, 1 in there. There we go. That will do me. We do need willpower later on. We're going to be doing dual weapon training and dual weapon sweep. And there we are. We will be playing it on normal. And here we go.
Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, the larger of 2 known remaining dwarven cities in the world. Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called deep roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the dwarven ancestral lands by the Darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endrin of House Aeducan, the 9th Aeducan ruler elected by the Noble Assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue, and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lord. You are dressed and ready. Excellent. I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast?
So if you don't know, that is the voice of Steve Bloom. And if you watch Cowboy Bebop, you know exactly who that is. Better safe than sorry. Shield me.
Certainly. You'll cut an imposing picture out there. Of course, if every other noble has a shield and 3 swords, you'll feel awfully underdressed.
You, my friend, are ridiculous. The thing with Endrin is he's not a badass, he's just a bastard. But if he likes you and he grows fond of you, he's like weirdly, ridiculously protective, almost possessive, sort of a thing. It's like you're one of his toys. No one's allowed to play with you.
One can't take all this marching about and speech-making too seriously. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances.
What of my brothers?
Out and about. I saw them on my way here, browsing the shops. As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Perhaps we should go show them what single combat is really all about. And by we, I mean you. I'll practice my cheering.
Why don't you want to fight in the provings, Gorham?
You remember last year's open proving? It took your father's smith 6 hours to remove my helmet. I'm not meant for single combat. I fight as my lord's second in shield. That's enough for me.
Proving does sound appealing. Let's go have a look.
Right behind you, my lord. The day is ours until the feast.
Alrighty. So, first things first, let's do some dual wielding, shall we? Do we have it? Oh no, we don't. We don't have a dagger. Okay, that's fine.
Now's better than later. Got it.
Now we have a dagger. Lovely. Let's put this over there, so we're dual wielding. Lovely. There's a bust of Dad. Let me just look at my notes. Yeah, King Endrin, there we go. Endrin of House Aeducan traces his ancestry back to the Paragon Aeducan, the greatest warrior of Orzammar's history, who beat back the Darkspawn Horde in the First Blight. The second son of King Ansgar Aeducan, he became heir after his elder brother died in a proving. The most respected king in 4 generations, he restored contact with Kal Shirok, the only other remaining city of the once vast Dwarven Empire, which has now been lost since the First Blight. Okay. We used to call this character Ansgar after the grandfather, but I think Endrin works a lot better as a thing. The Dwarven Palace, very nice. That's my brother's room, can't go in there.
Lord Balin? Oh.
What are you doing in my brother's room, wench?
I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me.
Gorham, tell her that my brother is at my feast.
Prince Balin is attending the feast being held in Lord Aeducan's honor.
Yes, of course. It was presumptuous of me to think that he would return to... I am sorry. I will show myself out, with your leave, my lord.
Gorham, tell her she may take her leave of me.
Go.
Thank you. I will go now.
I love how much of a pompous brat he is. Like, he just refuses to speak to the common folk. Just does it through his second. I love it. Letter from Rita. Let's have a little look at this. Ah, this is his lover. Okay. Alrighty. So the thing with Prince Balin is, he's actually very progressive. In terms of, well, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later when we get into it. So he's very progressive as a ruler. Not the kind of guy I'd want to crotch, but he's the kind of guy I'd want leading me if I was as a king.
Your father has allowed the merchants to show their wares in the Diamond Quarter during these celebrations.
So this is essentially very Tolkien, in terms of...
I'm sure we can work this out reasonably. It's in the records. There's nothing I can do. Please, Master Volney. My work is accredited by the Shaper.
These books are lies written by the enemies of House Volney.
I write only what I find in the ancient records. Lord Aeducan, you can vouch for my work, can't you? Your father loved my History of Aeducan, Paragon King, Peacemaker.
Gorham, does this scholar truly have my father's favor?
The king, as well as several other lords, are quite fond of his work. He writes of the ancient paragons.
This worm has written a book that slanders my house.
That is a serious charge.
He deserves to die for what he has written of Paragon Volney.
Tell me what it says, scholar.
My work tells the stories of all those raised to paragons in the last 500 years. When the Assembly names a paragon, that man or woman is then, by definition, everything one can aspire to be in the world. They form their own noble houses and are revered as living ancestors. But paragons start off as men.
Volney was more than a man.
Gorham, does this make any sense to you?
If I remember my lessons, Volney was a controversial choice as Paragon.
It's so good to see some reverence for history among the young generation. Volney became a paragon by the narrowest margin in history. One vote. A vote mired in rumors of intimidation, intrigue, and outright bribery. The records of that vote are kept in the Shaperate and are a matter of fact. Not liking history doesn't make it any less true.
Yeah, I really want to be a bastard, but the historian in me won't let me won't let me go against that. Yeah, the scholar's right.
You're taking his side? What if he published a book like this about your Paragon Aeducan?
The truth is more important than your pride.
You would not say so if it was your house, but I shall respect your wishes. For now, excuse me, Your Highness.
That fool has no idea how weak his house is or how low he sits in it. Shall I have him killed, my lord?
What do you think, scholar?
Well, historically, it has been prudent to eliminate a small threat before it becomes larger.
Hear that, Gorham? Do the prudent thing.
How do you want it done?
Quietly. An accident, preferably.
Understood.
You've shown yourself more daring and aggressive today than most believed of you. Someday I hope to write of the great exploits you are sure to perform.
Word has been sent. He won't live past the hour.
You've shown House Aeducan a friend to research, history, and the glory of our people.
You will remember this when you write of me.
Of course. Heroism and pity for the small man have always been hallmarks of House Aeducan. Now, I must try to make sense of these notes. Good day, Your Highness. And thank you.
Ah, my friend. Enjoying the festivities so far?
Quite.
Have you heard about tomorrow's assault on the Darkspawn burrows?
Who hasn't?
They say they are going to strike a blow at the Horde, but rumor has it they are actually searching for Bronca.
The Paragon? Why search? The ancestors have risen her up to join them.
You don't think she's still out there?
Impossible.
The finest in home decorations!
50 silvers for such a small bolt of cloth? That's outrageous. You certainly have some gall, merchant.
But my lord, these are surface silks, dyed with the finest saffron and indigo and embroidered by skilled elven tradesmen. I've seen Prince Balin Aeducan himself wearing a robe made of something quite similar.
So I pay your exorbitant price, only to end up looking like a poor imitation of Prince Balin. You'll get no coin from me.
But that's not what I meant, my lord. My lord! My lord Aeducan, you honor me by visiting my humble booth. May I show you my wares?
Gorham, why is this man speaking to me?
Because he has forgotten his place.
1,000 pardons. Please, forgive me, your highness.
This looks to be mostly fabrics from the human lands. These merchants form alliances with those who have abandoned our ways to live on the surface.
We trade our good steel and stone for this?
It's a shame, I agree. Perhaps we should get going.
Nothing beats a good set of steel cutlery.
Our trust follow, big brother. How surprising to run into you out among the common folk.
Especially since duty requires that you attend our King Father at the feast today. Have you so little respect for him to disregard his wishes on a day set aside for you?
Lord Harrowmont told me we wouldn't be needed for hours at least.
Silence! If I want the opinion of my sibling's second, I will ask for it.
Yes, Your Highness.
Don't speak to Gorham like that.
I speak to lower houses and castes as they should be spoken to. Now do as I say.
Keep barking orders, I'm sure I'll care someday.
Your lack of a sense of duty to your house is obvious. I can't imagine why you are receiving a commission. I expect after tomorrow I'll spend much time apologizing to the heads of the noble houses for the deaths of their children under your incompetent command.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it, Trian?
As heir to the throne, it is my duty to impart wisdom and judgment upon those who need it. Now then, you, get to the feast.
Kiss my ass, Trian.
I'd advise you to watch that tongue, dear sibling. Father will not live forever. Come, Balin.
That was fun. Nothing like being talked down to by the next king.
He's got to be alive to be king.
Perhaps this isn't the best place for that sort of talk, shall we?
Look at this piece, darling. It rivals even the work of the Paragon Smith herself.
Nonsense, woman. Your words bring shame upon our house. See how the edges are rough and pitted? Would you compare this to Branca's work? Trust a woman to speak of things she doesn't understand.
Jesus Christ.
My Lord Aeducan, nothing here rivals your amazing Aeducan armor, but if you wish something made...
You know very well House Aeducan has its own royal armorers.
Of course. Forgive me.
Tell me about your wares.
Your Highness's legendary prowess is matched only by your kindness.
Tell me about the armor you make.
I buy only the finest iron ore, and personally oversee the armor's crafting by the most skillful of the smith caste.
Alright, stop speaking now.
Yes, my lord.
What about that one?
I doubt he's up to the task. I'm not going down that road again.
Oh, I would love to end up with a red head.
Would that Sir Blackstone were a noble, hmm? Stand up straight. They're coming.
What have we here? Two handsome, strapping, noble lords. You both look so grand.
And isn't this the man of the hour, the king's son?
Who's your friend, my lord? Another noble from the honored House Aeducan?
This is Sir Gorham of the warrior caste.
Oh, then not a noble?
No, Telly, not a noble. Stone you're thick sometimes.
Why would you care if Gorham is a noble?
They're noble hunters, my lord. A man takes his caste from his father, and these women hope to bear a noble lord's son. If one is successful, she's raised up to concubine in the noble house to care for her child. It provides new sword arms for the house, and many nobles look favorably on such women.
So do I. Sounds like a good deal to me.
Shall I come to your chambers after the ceremony, then?
I talked to him first. I want him.
He's looking for a woman, Telly, not a little girl. I'm Marty, and I know how to give my lord a night he'll remember.
Though we're gonna have to pick just one.
Oh, my lord has his energy about him.
There will be no three to a bed, if that's what you're thinking. We both require full experiences all to ourselves. If you think you can manage us both, though.
Both it is.
This should prove most interesting. We will wait for you together, my lord, and show you the proper way to celebrate a princely commission.
Best game ever. We've been running around for what, 15 minutes? Already back to threesome.
I'll get on it.
They don't make them like this these days, you know? Wonderful stuff.
Invest in the next great trade expedition!
Greetings, my lord Aeducan. I am so honored to have you visit my booth. I have a proposition, but I dared not approach.
Yet you dare now.
If you have something to say, say it quickly.
Yes, just so. Here's the thing. What I mean to say is...
Spit it out.
Sorry. So nervous. I had a dagger made for you as a gift for your first command. Sent a messenger to deliver the dagger to you. Prince Trian had him thrown out. I don't know what offense he caused, but I had him beaten severely.
Let me see this dagger.
Here it is, Your Highness.
That's an amazing piece, merchant.
You do me much honor, sir. The blade has been crafted over a period of 2 years by masters of every art. I wish to bless the Lord's first command, and hope that someday, when he rules, he will wear it.
Trian is heir. He will rule when King Endrin returns to the stone.
If the Assembly wills it. Forgive me, sir, but whispers say the second child of Endrin will be chosen.
Whispers indeed. It's a princely gift. If Trian recognizes it, though, it may send the wrong message. Or the right one, depending on your view.
Damn what Trian thinks, I'll take it.
Thank you. You bring uncountable honor to me.
What he means is that you'll bring uncountable gold to him if you wear that piece in public.
Noble's dagger. Hell yeah, look at that.
Only the freshest food for your noble table.
Lord Aeducan, here in my booth? I am so...
He's fainted. You make quite the impression these days. Is it hard to be the king's child, never able to just blend in?
I hate it, I just wanted to talk.
There will be plenty of talk at the noble feast, though a less pleasant sort. Shall we move along?
My lord, are you heading to the proving arena?
Gorham, I do not remember addressing this man.
You are not to address the Lord Aeducan and the spoken to first.
Forgive me, Sir Gorham. I meant no offense.
Back to your duties.
But sir, this is my duty. I am to escort our new commander to the proving grounds.
I clean forgot about that. Forgive me, I should have informed you sooner. The king decided you were not to travel through the commons unguarded.
Ridiculous, I do not need an armed guard.
I did mention the merchants that won permits to show their goods in the Diamond Quarter. There were only so many permits auctioned off, and quite a few were turned away. Your father fears you will be harassed on the way to the proving.
This is silly, but I will comply.
Will we be leaving then?
Yes.
We are at your command.
My lord.
Tell me about your family, Gorham.
Not much that you don't already know. My father's father was a great hero of the Deep Roads excursions and raised the family to the top of the warrior caste. He was even nominated to join the assembly and found a noble house, but the honor was in the nomination. He wasn't afforded a single vote. My father served your father for many years, and now I serve you.
Are you excited about the battle tomorrow?
Yes, I yearn to face the Darkspawn and prove my worth as your second.
We will be spectacular.
May the stones support us, and the ancestors look down with pride.
Alright, let's get going.
As you will.
It's a great day for a proving.
I'm at your service.
Your Highness, it is an honor to have you here. Have you come to watch these brave warriors do battle in your honor?
No, I've come to fight.
Your Highness, this proving is in your honor.
Then honor him by doing as he says. My Lord Aeducan will fight in this proving.
I will honor today's warriors by testing their skills.
Of course, it is well within your rights. Men and women of Orzammar, we have a late entry to these provings, held on the eve of battle for the honor of House Aeducan. I give you the Lord Aeducan himself. Are you ready for your first match?
Ready, eager, hungry.
Then let us begin! This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Aeducan. Lord Aeducan will fight Alair Bimo, youngest son of Lord Bimo.
You honor me with this match.
I honor you, but no, save it and fight.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Can I get you a ladder?
Let's see what you're made of! The winner is Lord Aeducan. That was quite a fight. Alair Bimo is no slouch with that hammer. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Who is he?
Adal Helmi, a woman, Your Highness. She's a tenacious fighter.
I'll fight anyone.
Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Aeducan. Lord Aeducan will fight Adal Helmi, eldest daughter of Lady Helmi.
Honor and glory to your house, Your Highness.
I am going to slaughter you.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Something is coming.
How fast they are.
Hey, am I too quick for you? The winner is Lord Aeducan. That was a crowd pleaser. Many were waiting to see that woman put in her place. Sir Blackstone is your next opponent. Are you ready to face him?
What can you tell me about him?
One of the best of the warrior caste. He achieved glory in close combat assault in the deep roads.
Alright, I'm ready.
Then let us begin! This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Aeducan. Lord Aeducan will fight Sir Blackstone, Deep Road squad leader of the warrior caste.
This is your education, child. Try to learn as you bleed.
I'm going to make you eat those words.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
I see enemies ahead!
Too easy.
The winner is Lord Aeducan. Well done. You have proven that even the best of the warrior caste cannot match a noble Aeducan. Franlin Ivo is your final opponent. He too has had many victories today. Are you ready to face him, or will you rest first?
What can you tell me about him?
He is a decorated fighter who prefers unusual weapons and rarely fights with the same techniques twice.
House Ivo is relatively inconsequential, but Franlin may change that. He's expected to take a full command of his own soon.
Well, let me fight him.
Very good. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Aeducan. It is down to just 2 warriors. with backbones of stone and wheels of iron. They have defeated all others this day. Lord Aeducan will fight Frandlan Ivo, second son of Lord Ivo.
You fight well. I wish you glory today and glory tomorrow.
Shut up and fight already.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. The victor is champion. Fight!
All right. Stone Curse Joustor! Die! You have no skill, only desperation.
The winner is Lord Aeducan. Congratulations. Frandlan Ivo is as fierce a competitor as I've ever seen. You vanquished every warrior of note in today's proving. The ceremonial helm, commissioned by your father for today's winner, is yours.
Send it to Frandlan Ivo. He fought bravely.
The people will remember your honor and generosity for all time.
1 second, I'm just going to go check on something. I'll be 15 seconds. Now come on, own up. Which one of you is timing me?
Good showing there, my lord. Your opponents will be licking their wounds all eve.
My lord?
Why don't you take a break?
We will take a break when we are done here. For now, we are here to serve.
Alright. Let's go.
Your wish is our command.
I can't wait, my lord.
See you tonight.
That's a cool sword.
Look, the Grey Wardens are here. The raid tomorrow must be more than a standard mission. The Wardens only go where the Darkspawn are the greatest threat.
My Lord Aeducan, might I bother you for a moment? Many thanks for your willingness to hear me out, my lord. I wish to speak to you of a matter most urgent.
Gorham, how much time do I have?
It looks as if the heads of House Bimo and Mino are keeping your father busy. Which leaves you plenty of time for our dear old friend, Lord Dace.
You're a credit to your caste, Sir Gorham. I've always said so. If I had a daughter, I'd give her to you and make you the noble you deserve to be.
You honor me, my lord.
What can I do for you?
First, let me congratulate you on your commission. 2 of King Endrin's children now commissioned war leaders. It does great honor to your house.
You didn't stop me to... whatever. Thank you.
Of course, I didn't stop you just to express my loyal affections. There is a vote coming before the Assembly next week. And a word from you could go a long way towards helping our cause.
What cause?
The vote concerns the status of the so-called surface caste. Lost to the stone, air-touched, and so forth. Centuries ago, narrow-minded men declared that any dwarf who left to live on the surface forfeited his caste, and his house if noble. That he was, in essence, no longer a dwarf. I seek only to remedy an injustice, to retie the bonds of anyone who can trace himself to one of the noble houses wherever he may live. Please, agree to speak for this noble cause.
Why are you so interested in this particular cause?
Those on the surface are our lifeline. They facilitate trade with the surface. They're honorable and, let's be honest. I don't care a whit for those who have wandered from the stone. My wife, however, is a gem of a different color. She has a cousin, a useless sort, but she's quite fond of him. He joined a speculative venture to the surface, hoping to make his fortune, and went bust. Now he wishes to come home, but he cannot, for he has no house and would be castless. For my wife's sake, I take up his cause. Will you lend me your voice?
What do I get in return?
I keep my ears to the stone, my lord. I hear many things, some of which could be a great help during your mission tomorrow. A little forewarning to help your forearming, if you know what I mean.
You have a deal. What do I do?
When your father presents you to the noble houses, I will ask for your opinion on the matter. You have merely to say that you feel our surface brothers should be returned their noble rights. What could be more simple?
He senses something is up, but, you know.
You're a fool.
Sorry, something must be wrong with my hearing. Did you just say what I think you just said there?
Your mother would melt the stone if she knew what you just did.
Gorham, did you hear something?
Do not mock me, boy. Lord Dace is playing you false. Go ahead, be his puppet. Your first command will be marked by every major house turning their back on you.
If you have something to say, do so.
If you are to play in the games of the Assembly, make sure you know the motivations of the players. Last spring, a guild from the Merchant caste invested heavily in an expedition with a guild from the surface. Lord Dace backed the Merchant Guild, pouring a great deal of money into the venture. The expedition was a disaster.
So this Lord Dace, this is his play to recover his losses?
Clever child. Lord Dace lost a great deal of money and prestige. The Surface Guild has no way to repay the investment, but it does have several leading members who are descended from noble houses. House Helmi, Bimo, Aeducan.
If the surface dwellers return to their noble houses...
You begin to see the whole picture. Your house and mine would be forced to pay the Surfacers' kin debts. It would be a great victory for Lord Dace.
Fine, let him think he's fooled me.
Just so, my clever friend. Smile and nod, and when he asks his question, tell him that the so-called Surface Caste are right where they belong. That should take Lord Dace down a peg or two.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Remember this when my house needs your assistance.
No. No. You told me that of your own accord, thank you very much.
You return. Were my instructions unclear?
Instructions? I should kill you where you stand.
What would that do, besides get you cast into the deep roads or put down like a beast? Are you upset about something?
Your plan would have forced my house to pay surface debts.
I suppose it could. I mean, well, it's the spirit of the law that's important, right? Our poor, disenfranchised service brothers. Well played, Your Highness. welcome to Assembly politics. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Not so fast.
You've won. Don't be stupid about it.
You forget who you're speaking to. This is the guest of honor and child of the first house of Orzammar.
For now. We shall see what the future holds. Trian's grasp on the throne is in no way certain, and much can happen before then. Now let me be.
Your schemes are an insult to House Aeducan. He would have let him go if he didn't keep spitting insults or veiled threats, you know? He's not in a position to do that, so...
Lords, ladies, our Lord Aeducan has challenged the honor of Lord Dace.
What's this? My son is already testing his reach?
Fantastic. I thought tonight would be all talk and drink.
My lord, are you sure you wish to do this? You realize that it is Lord Dace's son, Mandar, a formidable duelist, who will defend the honor of House Dace in approving.
I was counting on it.
Very well. There is to be approving, then.
Let the ancestors judge who has the right of their cause.
To the proving grounds!
Men and women, lords and ladies, may I have your attention, please? We are gifted to have in our presence the Lord Aeducan, in whose honor today's provings were fought. Today, House Aeducan makes a challenge of honor against House Dace. These two brave combatants have come to prove the righteousness of their causes.
A little more ceremony than I wanted, but let's go.
The proving begins now!
Can I get you a ladder? Get off my back.
Mandar Day stands before you, defeated and staggering, awaiting the final blow. Yeah.
The proving is at an end. Mandar Dace has been found wanting by the ancestors, and House Dace is guilty of dishonoring House Aeducan.
This is my fault. My son has died defending my honor.
I am sorry for your loss, Ronus. It was the ancestors' will.
Yes, the ancestors. I'm sorry. Excuse me, my king.
Greetings, my lord Aeducan. It is an honor to meet you at last.
The honor is mine, Warden.
I have had the opportunity to recently meet with your father. He speaks highly of you. He says you may be the most skilled warrior in all of House Aeducan.
So, the reason why I killed that last guy, that is dwarven politics played out to the bitter end. You know, somebody... Again, look, if Lord Dace had done anything but carry on barbing Endrin after he's been caught in a lie, which is bad enough, he would have just either not done the duel at all and warned him, or done it to the first wound and left it at that. But it was the constant barbing of no, now you're clearly a threat to my house, now you need to be taken down a peg or two. Do you know what I mean? That's how it, you know. So he's taken the most powerful member of House Dace, which is this duelist guy, cut his head off and been like, right, your house is now dishonored, away you go. Doing his job, basically. He's like the house enforcer. We shall see what happens tomorrow.
Your response speaks of maturity beyond your years. We need more Grey Wardens like you, and quickly. Even as the Darkspawn weaken here in Orzammar, they are stirring on the surface. A blight has begun. Soon the fight must go beyond the deep roads, lest the Darkspawn threaten all the world.
Good. Let them leave our city and pester the humans for a while.
No one is safe from a blight. If the Darkspawn overrun the surface lands, they will return in even greater numbers. Orzammar would perish along with the rest. None of our lands is truly self-sufficient.
I don't know as much as I should about the Grey Wardens.
You know of our dedication to destroying the Darkspawn, our frontline presence during a blight. What else would you know?
Are there many of my people in the Grey Wardens?
Over the centuries, many dwarves have made names for themselves in our order. These days, however, there are fewer dwarves, and thus even fewer dwarven Grey Wardens. A pity, since dwarven warriors have the most experience fighting Darkspawn.
I'm an Aeducan. Orzammar needs me here.
Then it is a good thing that you have other paths before you. Some are not so lucky. I wish you luck in the deep roads tomorrow. Show the Darkspawn the might of your people.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
Congratulations on when he mistimed that backswing. I knew he was going down.
Poor bastard. Still, couldn't wish it on a nicer house.
Well put. Our new commander taught House Dace a serious lesson.
The hour is late. These Deshers have waited patiently, as have the Grey Wardens. Are you ready to be presented to the heads of the noble houses?
Is all this really necessary?
These rituals have their place. It behooves you to get to know the nobles and let them know you. Lords, ladies, grant me a moment of your time. We are here today so I may present to you my second eldest child, blessed by the stone and born of the blood that ran in the veins of the Paragon Aeducan. Who would pose a question to the prospective commander? Who seeks to know the prospect better? No? Very well then. The ritual is complete. I give you Orzammar's next commander. Tomorrow, our newest commander will lead part of a mission to strike a great blow to the Darkspawn. Not only does this recover access to some of our most important mines, but it also allows our honored guest Duncan, head of Ferelden's Grey Wardens, to strike far into the deep roads.
Thank you, King Endrin. While the Darkspawn seem to withdraw, it is only because they are massing on the surface. This could mean a blight, and my men and I will discover the truth.
We are honored to have you with us, my friend. Now, feast, drink, and celebrate, for the morning brings battle! As for you, my new commander, find your brother Trian and send him to me. He may be watching the provings, or getting some rest in his rooms.
Can't you just send a servant?
Don't question everything. Just go for the ancestors' sake. Quickly, find Trian and send him to me.
No sign of trouble here.
He'll be around here somewhere. Maybe he's in his room. Is that his room? No, that's my father's room.
So you're a commander now, in name at least. Wait, what's that you're wearing? That dagger?
So here's the cool thing, if you don't wear it, he doesn't say this. How cool is that? A gift made for me by a loyal subject.
I told that man not to presume to bribe House Aeducan. If your favor is bought so cheaply, it is your own shame. You should be attending our father at today's feast, not gossiping with second-rate smiths.
You two were not at the feast.
The world does not stop and start with your meager achievements. Not even tonight. Now, do you have some purpose in bothering us?
Father is worried you're too much of an ass to be prince.
You push your luck. Balin, get to bed. We have a big day tomorrow. I will see what our father wishes from his heir.
All day I've put up with that. He can really grate on the nerves.
Well, he's our older brother. You know what? I agree.
And what I'm going to tell you next won't make you any more fond of him.
What are you talking about?
Trian has begun to move against you. I never thought his much-proclaimed honor would allow him to actually act on his jealousy. Big brother, Trian is going to try to kill you.
He recognizes I'm a threat. Good.
He fears what you are becoming, in the eyes of the people and the Assembly. Trian's the named prince, but only the Assembly can proclaim a king. It would be unusual for the Assembly to ignore the king's choice, but it does happen.
The founder of House Bimo became a paragon and king in one move from the Assembly, and he was a commoner.
That was an extraordinary case, but at least a half-dozen times the Assembly named a lesser family member, or even someone from another house, as king. Usually, it's the popular younger brother of an undesirable prince.
Which one, though? Does Trian think I'm courting the Assembly?
Look at it from his perspective. You're more personable than he's ever been. You slaughtered the heir to House Dace, one of the most powerful houses in Orzammar, because his father dared to challenge your house's honor. If you win glory against the Darkspawn tomorrow, it will only strengthen the case for you as the next heir. Trian fears father will replace him on the spot. If not, the Assembly will surely turn against him when father dies. You know his pride will never allow him to step aside.
What's your angle in this?
It seems Trian has shown that brothers can't always be trusted. I am next in line. If Trian succeeds in his plot against you, how long do you think I'll live?
Gordon, what do you say?
Permission to speak freely?
Of course, my friend.
Trian would make a terrible king, but no one wants to say it. He has just enough backing in the Assembly to make it ugly when your father dies, but not enough to become king. Killing him now makes your house stronger and saves a great deal of bloodshed later.
We'll wait. See what Trian does. Mainly because I wanted to strike the first blow.
Very well. I'll keep my eyes open. I don't want to lose the brother I actually like.
Trian won't do anything stupid, I'm kind of sure of that.
I hope you're right, but my heart says this will end badly. I'm taking your place as father's second, so I'll be at hand tomorrow. For now, try to get some sleep.
Let's go. You don't want to keep those lovely ladies waiting.
Ooh, I almost forgot.
Trian and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Haramond. We should be able to sense the Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open. May the Paragons favor you, and the stone catch you if you fall.
Come then! Glory awaits!
Balin, you and your men will second the king, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it looks a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning the battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Balin. Take your men and make ready. Paramount and I need to have words with your sibling.
Good luck, my brother.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there is a secret door carved into the stone.
The door leads to a thaig, abandoned long ago by your ancestors. The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach.
My father believed that the shield of the Paragon Aeducan remains in that thaig, under the stones of the central room. Reclaim the shield, and glory will be yours.
What else is in this tag?
My father's writings speak only of the shield. There may be countless other treasures, but only the shield matters.
We've sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions?
Meet the scouts, find the door, grab the shield. Got it.
Very good. The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of Aeducan.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
I think it's because his dad kind of knows his sons are about to fight. I think that's why he's given that look there. Six? Nah, not worth it. Might as well use those then.
You made it, Commander. Did you run afoul of any darkspawn?
A few. They weren't organized.
Still, that was more than we expected. Once I finished scouting the tunnels, I hid here to avoid the darkspawn. Most tunnels are dead ends. The one we want is swarming with those fiends. It's going to be a fight.
Weren't you at the proving yesterday?
I was, indeed. Your gift of the helm was amazingly generous. I will treasure it always. May today's battles bring us even more glory. I'll take rear guard. Shall we move?
Get money.
You're here. I thought the Darkspawn had got you for sure.
I'm not that easy to kill.
And I'll make sure I'm behind you if we're swarmed. We want the tunnel ahead, but there are Darkspawn tracks all over it. Be careful.
I thought these are mostly abandoned.
Well, abandoned isn't vacant, apparently. Still, 2 months ago we couldn't get within a mile of this place. I'll follow your lead, Commander.
All right. anyway, we don't have a road.
Looks like someone beat us to the door.
This Darkspawn body is still fresh. Whoever opened the door is most likely still in there.
They had to have an Aeducan signet ring to get in.
It could have been stolen. Recently, or generations back.
Or it could be an ambitious cousin out for his own glory.
Whoever it is, the shield is mine.
Understood. Let's move, men.
Can I get my health back, please? Wait.
So glad you could finally join us. We feared you'd gotten eaten by Darkspawn. Turns out the shield isn't quite as easy to retrieve as I was led to believe. I wager you know where it is, though. So maybe you tell me where it is, and I won't mutilate your body so bad your father doesn't recognize you.
Goran, we need to kill this man.
I'll try to hide my disappointment.
Just kill them, boys. We'll find this shield on our own.
It's coming.
Why is it so fucking hard? Let's kill this guy. Yeah. Can't even see. Oh, I wish he'd stopped doing this. Oh, God, stop. Well, if you would do the flashy fucking thing...
Point me in the right direction.
Show them no mercy! We're coming for you!
Serves me would do the flashy bit thing, wouldn't he?
You should have run! Would you like to do it for your next of kin? For honor and glory! For the king!
So if he hadn't have done that stupid flashy finishing move thing, I hate how the game should make you invulnerable whilst that's happening, because you're just getting twatted every single time.
Is that an Aeducan signet ring? I guess that's how they got in here.
Like literally, he's doing this stupid move and 3 people are stabbing him at the same time. I want to take the health potion, thanks. Fucking stupid ass fucking thing sometimes. It's Treants.
The ring is Treants. That means he...
Yeah, he got sloppy this time.
It would have been a major victory to get the shield first, but he showed his hand and failed. The first way we can hurt him is to find that shield ourselves.
Let's move.
You have your orders, boys. How do we get the shield?
Look around, there's got to be a clue.
You two, see if you can spot anything. It seems some of these tiles are different from the others.
That's it. We've got it.
Doesn't look like much.
The skill of our crafters has come far since then. But still, the Shield of Aeducan.
Enough talk. Where is this rendezvous point?
Back in the direction we came from, at the crossroads.
To the crossroads.
Nothing else in here to touch, that's fine.
Did you twisted creatures? Any more of those mercenaries?
Chewing through them as a character, isn't he? But I wish he could dictate when to do those flashy things. So only do them against certain leveled enemies, because like doing them against an enemy who's or with an enemy around who's quite powerful is just like asking for trouble. Oh, screw that, it's fine.
You got it.
Trian were really scheming against us, this would be the perfect place for an ambush. We've got the shield, and we're all alone out here.
Keep your wits about you then.
Of course.
What's that you're muttering about?
My brother. He may try to ambush us.
Fantastic. As if the Darkspawn weren't enough to worry about.
Just keep your eyes open.
Did it turn us around then? It did, didn't it?
It's Trian.
It must have been a Darkspawn attack.
This doesn't look like Darkspawn. No bites, no scratches, no mutilation.
Balin outplayed me.
Your brother?
Someone's coming.
Hurry, Father, before it's too...
By all the ancestors, what has happened here?
It seems we weren't fast enough. Balin was right.
My son, tell me this isn't what it looks like.
I can assure you it's not.
He killed Trian, just as Trian said he would.
My lord is innocent.
Zergorum, your loyalty makes you a useless witness. It falls to others to tell the story. You, Scout, what happened here?
Trian and his men were here early. It seems they'd done battle with the Darkspawn. Lord Aeducan came up to them all friendly-like, but when we got close, he ordered us to attack.
I'm just gonna murder him.
Stop him! Take his weapons! I think we've seen enough.
No. If the scout were lying, I might have done much the same. I will not drag my son back to Orzammar in chains without hearing from Frandlin Ivo.
Frandlin Ivo, you are a good and noble man. Did the scout speak the truth?
He did, my lord. It was terrible. Prince Trian didn't stand a chance.
I gave you a hat.
Afterward, my lord stripped his signet ring.
You treacherous bastard!
Silence, Gorham! Do you have anything else to say, my son?
How can you not see that this is a setup?
I want to believe that. I really do.
Bind him. He will be judged before the Assembly. To Orzammar.
Oh, this could have gone better.
Sir, orders and all, you understand.
Of course. Leave us alone, will you please? My lord. I would have come sooner had they allowed it. How are you?
Why is the Assembly not sent for me yet?
The Assembly isn't going to call for you. Balin has taken Trian's place in the Assembly. He introduced a motion to condemn you immediately, and it easily passed. He had fully half the Assembly ready to vote on something completely against tradition and justice. He must have been making deals and alliances for months, if not years.
You have to respect Balin's ability to play the game, I guess.
He's more clever than either of us ever thought. Some of the lords, especially Harrowmont, are suspicious of Balin's instant rise to power. They are rallying, but far too slowly. The Assembly has already sentenced both of us.
Both of us? What's going to happen to you?
My knighthood will be stripped, my name torn from my family records. But I will be allowed to attempt some sort of life on the surface. Lord Harrowmont moved for a similar exile for you, but Balin's supporters overwhelmed him. You are to be sealed in the deep roads to fight Darkspawn until you are overwhelmed and killed.
Those cowards weren't even strong enough to kill me themselves.
That may have been Balin's first mistake. Lord Harrowmont gave me access to see you so I could tell you this. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are still in the deep roads, in tunnels connected to those you are to be left in. If you survive long enough to find the Grey Wardens, you may be able to escape with Duncan.
The Wardens would take an exile, the murderer.
The Grey Wardens don't care about a person's past. They recruit for daring, intelligence, and martial power. If you can find them, I'm sure you can join them and escape the deep roads.
Only Darkspawn would mean freedom, huh?
Balin underestimated you, much as we underestimated him. I begged to go with you and fight at your side, but Balin's pet nobles wouldn't hear of it.
You're safer going to the surface. No, I wish you were going by my side as well.
I'm going to try to go to Denerim, the human capital. If you make it out, find me.
Count on it.
Our time is up. May the Paragons guide your sword and the stone hold you up.
Same to you, my friend.
I will always be your man, my Lord Aeducan.
They are ready for you now. Here is the prisoner, Lord Harrowmont.
Having been found guilty of fratricide by the Assembly of Orzammar, you are hereby sentenced to exile and death. Your name is from this point forward stripped from the records. You are no longer a person, nor a memory. You are to be cast into the deep roads with only sword and shield. Dare to redeem your life by fighting the enemies of Orzammar until your death. Do you have anything to say before the sentence is carried out?
Call this justice?
I would have prevented it if I could. Everyone should have the right to face his accuser and defend himself. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't do this. For your father's sake.
Drop dead, old man.
Very well, if that's the way you want it. Soldier, hand the accused your sword and shield. Open the doors and let the condemned walk through. May the stone accept you when you fall.
This could have gone better. At least I can dual wield still. Do I have any curatives? No. Gonna up my strength and my constitution. Great sword, don't need it. Studded leather armor would be good. Got no boots though. That would be good. Ooh, leather gloves. I can find some boots. That'd be nice.
Got it.
God damn it.
Now's better than later.
A shield. I need some boots. Would one of these just give me some boots?
I'll get on it.
Well, he had his boots taken off. He's not going to have any boots. Oh, better armor, though. Poor guy.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Guarding some dead bodies. Dwarven boots, fantastic. Ugh, at least I've got something on my foot to use now. They even took my special dagger off me. Crossroads.
By the Maker, it's a dwarf.
Lord Aeducan, what are you doing here alone? Where are your troops?
Grey Wardens aren't the only ones who can survive down here.
I'm aware of your family's experience with these tunnels, but no dwarf has set foot here for years. May I ask what happened?
I have been exiled.
Exiled? To these tunnels of death? What crime could be so terrible?
I do not think matters of dwarven honor are any business of ours. You need not answer, friend.
They think I killed Trian.
I see. The brutal intrigue of the Dwarven court continues then. Your father intimated as much. There is no reason for you to walk these deep roads and die for something you did not do. You've already proven yourself both resourceful and skilled, and I would expect nothing less from an Aeducan. I've been searching for those with your level of ability. Your exploits in the deep roads set you apart. As leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, I would like to formally invite you to join our order.
I accept.
Then welcome. We leave immediately for Ostagar to join with the human forces facing the Darkspawn hordes led by King Kaelan. Stay close. There are still Darkspawn around every corner.
There's only one king human, and his name is Endrin.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korcari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name?
Can we skip the introductions? It's been a long trip.
I remind you that you speak to the King of Ferelden.
Don't worry, Duncan. You must both be eager to reach your tents. Have you any news before I go?
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Red Cliff forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
You sound very confident of that.
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
He didn't seem to take the Darkspawn threat very seriously.
True. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
You could, if you were not such a fool.
You must not speak of the king so. He is over-eager, perhaps, but he is also one of the few Grey Warden allies. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
A hot meal might be nice first.
I agree. We have until nightfall to begin the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the Joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon.
Wonderful. Am I the only recruit you have?
No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive.
Why is this ritual so secret?
The Joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary.
Wonderful. Let's get this over with then.
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
And that is the end of the origin story for the Dwarves. Such an amazing game that each and every single race has its own origin story, you know? That's awesome. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. And next time, well, it's gonna get far more interesting because we will have the Battle of Ostagar. See you then.